have someone who will call me up and say, look, I've done my research on the chickenpox vaccine, and I've decided not to get it. But what do they really mean by research? What they really mean is that they've looked online and read people's opinions about the varicella vaccine. I mean, what you really should do, if you want to have an informed opinion about the varicella vaccine, read the roughly 300 articles that have been published on the varicella vaccine, which would require an expertise in microbiology and virology and epidemiology and statistics, which most people don't have, and frankly, most doctors don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
So what do? I mean, they rely on those advisory groups that at least collectively have that expertise, collectively have read those articles, and make recommendations which they think is in the best service of the children in this country, like the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices to the CDC or the Committee of Infectious Diseases for the American Academy of Pediatrics. And those groups have served us well.
See, let me just pare that down to what he's saying. You're too stupid to make this decision. You're too stupid. You can't read the science like I just showed you, or Z-Dog can't read it. You know, you can't read it. You can't understand it. You got to trust someone else. And by the way, I don't know if you caught the middle of this. Who is he telling you not to trust? Check this out.
Read the roughly 300 articles that have been published on the varicella vaccine, which would require an expertise in microbiology and virology and epidemiology and statistics, which most people don't have. And frankly, most doctors don't have.
Yeah,
most doctors don't have.
Yeah,
most doctors don't have.
Yeah,
most doctors don't have.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a long time, and you all fight me on it. You're like, well, I trust my doctor over everybody else. I'm saying your doctor isn't educated. Your doctor doesn't know. Your pediatrician doesn't really understand the immune system. Didn't study immunology. They're not an immunologist, even though that's all they really do. But now Paul Offit's finally making my point for me. You can't trust your doctor because most doctors don't understand. They weren't trained. We purposely made sure we didn't train our doctors. But don't worry. There's this magical group of angels, of geniuses, full of Einsteins that do the thinking for the doctors and you. This great, brilliant group is always thinking for you. Trust them. ACIP, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. This group of brilliant, genius minds are the only thing you should trust. Let me just show you what they sound like when they approved the brand new hepatitis B vaccine coming your way. Hold on. You may not be ready for this. It's going to be mind-blowing. Check it out.
Is there any comment on using
Na sírjál már, hát mindjárt jön.
with other adjuvanted vaccines?
We have no data to make a recommendation one way or the other.
So just to sort of put this in context of other vaccines, while preclinical studies were not done using these vaccines simultaneously, our general approach to immunizations is that they can be given at the same time in different limbs.
Dr. Hunter? Are multiple adjuvanted vaccines used in Europe or other markets?
Dr. Ward, do you want to comment?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, I think unless there's any further discussion, we will take a vote on this recommendation. I want to remind everyone to please check your voting machine thing, and I don't know what it is, and voting is open. Thank you very much. So the voting is completed, and it is unanimous to support this recommendation. Thank you all. Does anybody have any comments they wish to make about their vote?
So just a slight reservation. I think this is a huge advance and a step forward. I am concerned about that signal, that myocardial infarction signal. I am concerned about the use of this new adjuvant and certainly urge us to continue to look at the post-marketing data carefully.
Dr. Hunter?
Just a question about that. How soon would we
Mit sírsz?
that post-marketing data?
Mindjárt jön, apád.
There's two kinds of data. The vaccine safety data link data will require people to be using the vaccine to develop substantive.
Lüj, gyere ide! Hú!
Dr. Sun, do you want to comment on the post-marketing
Mi a baj?
data that FDA is requiring?
The myocardial infarction study, we're seeing that the date likely for May 31, 2020. There will also be studies looking at autoimmune diseases as well as disaster, and there will be a pregnancy registry as well.
Now, I know some of you are saying, why didn't you just edit that down, Del? Well, the first thing is, I don't edit that kind of genius when it's happening. You got to just take it all in exactly how it was delivered. But seriously, that is who you're supposed to trust. People that will ask questions like, this brand new adjuvant we're using, this toxin we use to incite the body into an allergic immune reaction, have we tried it with other aluminum adjuvants? Like, what if they're using aluminum and this new one? What if we put them together in the body at the same time? Then this Muppet basically says, we don't have any data on that. Okay, so no information, no science whatsoever that looked at combining these things. Like I said earlier, how about a study of like the 6 vaccines at one time? We don't do that. Okay, great. Good question. Bad answer. Next question. Anywhere else in the world, do they put 2 different adjuvanted vaccines into the body at the same time? Another genius, not to my knowledge. Okay, well, just so you know, I work here, I'm the head of this committee. You should know, if you're new to this committee of geniuses, that when you say yes, that we will give the vaccine at the same time with other adjuvanted vaccines, whether it's been tested or not. We'll just put it in different arms, because 2 different arms, same body, doesn't make me. We know for sure it'll never get to the same place in the body if you just put it in 2 different arms. And then lastly, I do have an issue with the heart attacks, the myocardial infarction. You have an issue. What? I've never sat in the audience when this happened. And I know a lot of you have watched me do this over and over again, but if you're new, this really happened. I do sit at those meetings, and actually today is the 2nd day of ASIP. I'm not there, and 50 brave individuals from our side all were there, and we'll talk about that later.
Lili, gyere ide
These
szívem!
really are happening, and I'm going to show you the article. I ran out of that meeting and said, what do they mean, myocardial infarction signal?
Mindjárt jön a
I
pád,
found this
mindjárt.
article.
Leizgulják.
Is the new Dynavax hepatitis B vaccine safe? I couldn't tell, and I
Látom, milyen okos az orvosod?
FDA.
Istenem.
During the trial, though, 14 people in the Dynavax group had heart attacks compared to just 1 in the conventional vaccine group. 14 people died of heart attacks when this vaccine was in its trial phase. And the first time they brought it to the FDA turned it down. They said, go back to the drawing board. They didn't fix the vaccine. They didn't do a new trial. They just doctored their numbers, and they came back a second time to the FDA. And the FDA said, no, still no, we're still worried about the 14 heart attacks in your trial. They went back to the drawing board, came back a 3rd time with the same vaccine, same trial, came up with excuses for why the heart attacks might have happened, and then they approved it. This article right here is saying, I couldn't tell. This was the only heart surgeon in the entire group at FDA to approve this vaccine. And you know what he said at the end of the article? I didn't feel comfortable with the 14 heart attacks, so I abstained from the vote. The only intelligent person that you should be trusting, the one that Paul Offit says is maybe smarter than you, the guy that actually understands heart attacks, he decided to not vote. That's how these groups work. I don't want to piss anybody off, so I'm going to take my brain and I'm going to put it off to the side and keep it out of your way. I'm not making this up, folks. You can decide that those geniuses are who you're going to put your children's lives in their hand. Because they already told you, don't do it because your doctor doesn't know jack. Paul Offit just told you that. This room full of geniuses is who you're supposed to trust.
Csodálatos.